Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. Hold on, let me throw these away. Welcome back to birth month. I don't know what day we're on. Day 5, I think, because I did the. Right? This was supposed to be day 2, but things change. I want to do the Austin Powers movies first. Kindergarten Cop is a movie that's a review, I guess I should say, that's a long time coming. I want to do this for years. I think at one time I was going to do it for like the second birth month, but then when Ivan Reitman passed, I decided I wanted to do all his movies and put it on the back burner. But you know, one reason or another, this was actually, you remember last year I was doing one movie a month. That was a personal pick of mine. This was going to be in there, but that got derailed by everything that happened with my mom, so I put it here, only for it to be pushed back just a little bit, about 3 days, to do it again here. And I actually thought I was gonna have to push it back more because the disc is here. I'll actually show it to you. Hold on. All right, so as I was watching the first movie I did this, watching Jumping Jack Flash, I grabbed this and I looked at this. Look, see it? Right there? I saw this and went, crap. What do I do? That's the other side. And I'm like, this isn't gonna work. There's no way. There's no way. So after I did my Jumpin' Jack Flash review, I put it in and I fast forward through the whole movie, and it works perfectly. It doesn't freeze up, nothing. I don't know. It worked. I had put the Blu-ray in my cart on eBay. I kind of need to, go to the next level anyway, but it worked fine. I need to upgrade. That's the word, upgrade. So this movie started a long list of big, muscular guys in goofy comedies, whether it's dealing with children, like The Pacifier with Vin Diesel, or the Game Plan, which I recently reviewed for December, or The Tooth Fairy, you could put that in there, Or even with Arnold himself doing Jingle All the Way, and can you count Junior? I don't know. And I think you could actually throw Stop My Mom Will Shoot, because that's a goofy comedy. Big guys like that doing goofy comedies that are probably made for kids or somewhat. This is PG-13, so the kid stuff is in there. Honestly, I'm surprised this wasn't a PG movie, given this was 1990. But what I can think of is like the guns and the shootouts and everything. There's some blood. Not a lot, but some blood. Arnold, by the end of this, is not as usual Invincible Arnold. Can you count Last Action Hero as a kid type thing? It's also PG-13, but really, by the end, he's in a cast, he's in a hospital bed and everything. It's sad, but Schwarzenegger plays John Kimball, a police officer, you idiot. I'm a cop, you idiot. And I love my car. Who is tasked with going undercover as a kindergarten teacher. Now, I was watching this. So the plot line I have is that he is going undercover with his partner. His partner, Phoebe Holloway, is supposed to be the teacher, but she gets stomach flu from eating bad food on a flight or something. And then he has to become the, substitute kindergarten teacher. The teacher is what I said. Teacher. And what I was thinking in this is, why did we need to have... I know he needs a partner, sure, because that's another plot line. Is that I don't have a partner. But... yeah, but... I don't know. Wouldn't it take like 10 minutes out of the runtime? Does it say how long it is on this thing? No. This is that 2007 DVD release, by the way. So I've had this for 15 years almost. Hello. So that would even be before I moved here. I'd be at my mom's. Although it was released in 2007, doesn't mean I bought it in 2007. You know, I remember buying it here, I think. Anyway, yeah. So a little subplot thing where it's like, oh, she's gonna be a substitute teacher. Oh, she's sick, so he's got to be. Why not just say he has to be the substitute teacher? I mean, they go down hard on this. Where they first show him, he's got his hair's a little ruffled and messed up. He's got a beard, which looks incredibly fake, and he's this tough, gruff cop. And then when Phoebe gets sick, he's shaved, combed his hair. He's. And as a teacher, he sucks because these kids, little kids, are one of the most aggressive peoples on the planet, and I'm serious. They are nuts. Except for my son, who was always well behaved, at least around me. But yeah, I lost train of thought. So the whole thing with this case is that he's chasing down this criminal named Crisp, played by this dude who I've only literally seen in this movie and never anywhere else. And he's a criminal and he's arrested, and so you use his girlfriend as a witness to keep him in custody, send him to jail. So the problem I have with this is that at the end they treat it like it's a twist that the guy's mom is involved, but she's involved from the very beginning. Because, like, before he gets arrested, he's talking to his mom as she's getting a pedicure or something. And, like, yeah, it's not really a twist when I don't know. But I just find it weird that this guy gets arrested. The only thing I can think of is trying to find his son. And there's, like, a whole thing where his ex-wife stole $3 million, and he's after that, but it turns out that's not it at all. He's after his kid. Normally I would vouch for rights for fathers, but this guy can go himself. He's a criminal. He's a bad, bad man. He deserves to go to jail, directly to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. You stay in jail. So, of course, the comedy that you would predict to ensue happens. Kimball's out of his element, doesn't know what to do, so he relies on his police tactics, using the police whistle to kind of, direct things and being very stern with them. And there's a scene where there's a fire drill, but apparently nobody told Kimball, because that's how it works. I don't know about you, but when I was in school, whenever there was a fire drill, not only were the teachers told, so were the students. Oh, it's going to be a fire drill today, just so you know, and the alarms go off. Walk in an orderly fashion, whenever it happens. They always told you. It would never be like that, ever. So when it goes off and you're not told, of course you're going to freak out, because you don't know it's a drill. Especially since this is the first drill they did since Kimball came on. Joined the school. You'd think they would mention it to him, but no. And then later, because he's a cop, he's sort of stern and they walk out normal. Everyone else is sort of discombobulated, so to speak. He begins this romantic relationship of sorts. It's a will they won't they thing with this other teacher. I don't remember her name. Rhonda? No. Joyce. And, okay, so, one thing watching this, there are two things that I always think. Well, there's one thing, but there's one thing I figured out this time. I never realized that the principal, played by Linda Hunt, of Popeye, the movie fame, she was the mom in that, she knew about it because there's a scene later after he hits this abusive dad where she's like, I looked up, you have no teaching experience. And I'm like, so I always thought that meant she didn't know he was a cop. But here, she lays out that she knows he's a cop because the teacher they had was pulled and they had to bring on a kind of cop, which was supposed to be Phoebe, but she's sick, so it's him. And again, she doesn't say sick for the whole film because she's needed as backup later, but like, at one point he walks in and she's with her fiance who showed up. Yeah, you're going undercover, you're not supposed to tell anyone. I don't care if you want to get laid, lady. What if Crisp knew somehow that she was in on this? All they have to do is follow this dude and you know where everything is. You know where his ex-wife and his child is. In Astoria, Oregon, which I think it was also the setting of The Goonies. So, where's that Maine? I don't know. Anyway, so they go through all these, like he's trying to figure out who the parents are. So, of course, he plays the game. We're going to play a game. We're going to play a wonderful game. It's called Who is Your Daddy and What Does He Do? And then as I start asking questions about his daddy, no, not my daddy. We're talking about your daddy. My mom says my dad's a sex machine. Of course, you got the kid. Boys have a penis and girls have a vagina. Which they do twice. It's funny the first time, but you didn't need to repeat it. I don't know. The kids in this, though, of course, you have kids that you recognize, right? Mingo Hughes, that little girl who needs to go to the bathroom. There is no bathroom. The twins. Adam Wiley. And interestingly enough, I didn't know this until looking at the credits on Wikipedia. Odette Annabelle of Supergirl and Cloverfield fame and that terrible, terrible horror movie, The Unborn. She's one of the kids in this. I'm like, wait, who does she play? I'm like, is she like a teenager? She's not one of the moms. There's no, because I'm like, is she like an extra? She's one of the kids. I didn't realize that she was that young to play that role, because this is 1990, so she would have been 5. Yeah. I'm older than her. No, I'm not. No, I'm younger than her, because I was 3. I was 3 in 1990. She's older than me. She's 5. She's 2 years older than me. So she's 41 or 40. She's gonna be 40. So she's 39. I don't know when her birthday is. But, yeah. I couldn't tell you where she is, but she's in there somewhere. But yeah, so there's this whole thing, Kathy Moriarty shows up, and there's this whole thing with this mother who's very secretive of her child, and so he thinks that's the one that Crisp is after, but it only turns out that she's secretive because her husband hits her and her child, and he says, if he does it again, I'm going to press charges. And not only does he do it again, but the dumb son of a bitch shows up. He's there, dropping the kid off, and I'd be like, so women in that sort of situation are in denial, they're protective of everything. You think she would say, hey, don't come with me today, because Mr. Kimberly is going to know what you did, and if you're there, he's going to do something. But no, maybe she was actually smart and she knew something would happen. And that's why she brought him. I don't know. But I do like when the principal confronts him, she's like, answer me this one question. What did it feel like to hit the son of a bitch? It felt great. So she didn't care. Parents like that deserved it. If you're going to beat your kids, we're going to beat you back. I know that's not, the ideal way, but quid pro quo. Quid pro quo. Abusive men. So I'll come to a head. Well, there's also another scene I'm going to talk about before I get into the climax of sorts. there's this, there's the romance going on between him and Joyce, and it kind of gets going. And he's going out to dinner with Phoebe, who then has to pretend to be his sister Ursula. She's very good at the Australian accent. She's very good at this. And so that happens. And then he becomes sort of connected to this kid, I want to know the scene in which Crisp tries to convince this guy to sell him this toy for like 3-4 times the amount. Did that inspire filmmakers to do Jingle All the Way? You know that scene, Kindergarten Cop, where that guy is bribing this guy to get the toy for his kid? What if that was a whole movie? And hey, Arnold's in that movie. Let's get him for this one. I don't know. It just dawned on me that's very similar. But, yeah, there's this whole romance. But, like, he's like, it's not a date, but, like, I would say Ursula, but Phoebe shows up and she gives him flowers and she gives him champagne and sends it on his way. And it works out, they become very close. And he gets close with Dominic, and then everything hits the fan when it turns out that Crisp's ex-girlfriend OD'd because the mom sold her bad cocaine. Think of Mia Wallace, but like she died instead of being revived. I imagine that's what went down. She wasn't revived. Yeah. So now there's no witness, which I always find faulty, at least in movies. She already ID'd him. They know he's a criminal. It's like Smallville with Chloe. Like, the whole thing with blowing her up, that is also more ridiculous because she's already testified in court. So has Clark. Yet, they think by blowing her up, that's going to stop it. And then they're like, oh, if Chloe doesn't testify, your dad's going to be out. And I'm like, she already testified. That's even more confusing as this one. But, again, you'd think she would have already testified against him. Why does it take so long for court dates to happen? But now, for some reason, and I'll never get why this is the thing, she's dead, so he goes free. If I was a cop, I'd be like, no. Or if I was a judge or whatever, I'm like, no, wait a minute. This woman's going to testify you and she's now dead? Hell no, you ain't getting free. I don't care if you don't have a witness. You obviously had something to do with this, and your ass is going back to jail. I don't care if there's some kind of rule against it. If I'm a judge or someone in any kind of higher up within the justice system, I'm looking at this, and I'm going, there's no fucking way that he wasn't somehow involved in this. He's got someone out there doing something to prevent this. This is probably the worst decision you could ever make. But movies, and I've seen this in other movies too, treat this as, oh, they're dead so he gets to go free. When I guarantee you, in the real world, that would not happen. Because that is way too convenient that the person, oh, it's an overdose. Yeah, but who supplied her with the cocaine though? Do you know who that is? Huh? You know? Did they kill the guy? No, they paid him and he's walking off. All you gotta do is send a cop around the area for the dealer, find him, and he'll tell you that it was Chris' mom. Especially if you're holding a gun to him or something. Those kind of low level drug dealers, especially in movies at least. I don't deal with drug dealers in real life, but in movies, they don't have real spines. They care only about the money and how they make it, but a gun's held up to them, they're going to squeal like a pig, let me tell you. I've seen it in movies and TV shows all the time. I know it might not be realistic, but in movies and TV, those kind of drug dealers, they squeal like pigs. I guarantee you, he will, at least in this situation. But no, it's just, oh, she's dead, you can go free, which I'd be looking into that. I'd be like, no, you ain't going anywhere. You can leave the precinct, but you ain't leaving town. If you do, like, slap a thing on him and tell him, slap the anklet on him and say, you can't leave town. You are stuck in your hotel room. You can't leave your hotel room. You can't go within 2 blocks of your hotel room. Go to the gas station across the street. Because with hotels, there's always a gas station across the street somewhere. With the hotel that we got, hotel street we got here, we got a gas station over there, a gas station over there, and a gas station over there. There's 2 gas stations over there, actually. Yeah, there's a Sinclair and a Quick Trip. I don't know why there's two gas stations back to back, but they're there. But it was gas you want. And there's also two gas stations within a short length of each other, too. Down further, there's another Quick Trip. We have four. There's another Quick Trip, and then a little while down the way, there's an Apollo. Right? So, yeah. And there's Casey's down the other way, too. That's also a gas station. We got gas stations galore and four Quick Trips, right? Because there's the one over here, the one over there, and the one down yonder, the one by my mom. Yeah, four Quick Trips. The hell was I talking about? Oh, right. There's no way he'd be let go, especially if the one witness that could damn him is now dead. Obviously, he had something to do with it. There's someone out there. The first person I would question and try to find is his mother. There are any family members of his that are out there. He's got a mother. Bring her in. And that bitch ain't leaving until I get some answers. See, if I was a cop, I'd actually do my job and actually, work on a case instead of saying, okay, they did it, open shut. Do detective work. I'd do it. Let me tell you. And I'd be the one eating donuts too, because that's me. So, although donuts are high in sugar, so maybe not all the time. A bagel. Bagels don't have sugar. I'll be the cop eating bagels. Anyway, it all comes ahead at this carnival because Phoebe shows up and tells him about what happened with her. She's not dead, so he's free. And of course, she's on his way there. And so they have to come clean to Joyce, whose real name is like Jennifer or something. I don't remember. And she's literally like, okay, we gotta get out of here. We gotta drive away. Running is never the answer, especially in this situation. He'll just find you again. You never know. You never know. And so I get confused on why this happens, but Dominic disappears and they think that Crisp has taken him, but he's climbed a radio tower? Why? This feels like filler, like, hey, we need like an extra 5-10 minutes. Let's have Dominic disappear and have him climb a fucking radio tower for some reason. Why is this here? I was doing my dishes and I had to get the big tote out so I can do my pans and stuff. It's in the bathroom. Yes, I do it like that. And I'm watching this and I'm going, what? I'm like, I don't remember him kidnapping the kid here. It was at the school or something, right? It was. Because he's climbing. Why is he climbing the radio tower? Did I miss some dialogue? Am I missing something? Did I miss some dialogue where he talks about a radio tower? I don't know. But it's the next day at school because they all decided to just be cool. And they've brought Phoebe to the school to talk about stranger danger. Which, ironically, Crisp decides now is the time he's going to try to kidnap his own son. So, I've always said, like, oh, it's your child, it's not kidnapping. But this guy shows up with a gun, and he's a criminal. So maybe this is not so cut and dry, like it's your kid. But, like, if you don't have custody, it is technically kidnapping. So, it's not so cut and dry. Growing up watching stuff, like, it's his son, though. But it's not always cut and dry, because if you don't have custody, then, I know that now as a father. I never kidnapped my own son. Don't worry about that. But I'm just saying, knowing custody things, I know how it works now. I got smart-ish. So, Crisp shows up. He sets a fire so there's, fire and everything. And so it's a distraction, and he kidnaps Dominic. But the kids all see him and go, stranger, stranger, so that alerts Kimball. Meanwhile, Phoebe's outside trying to get in. She gets hit by the car thanks to the mom. And she survives and is still able to fucking walk. Later, she shows up with crutches, and I'm just like, no. That lady will be broken in half. She got hit by a car. Incidentally, I've been hit by a car before. Some jerk ass decided not to stop where there was a stop sign and hit my bike. Wasn't very fast, tapped it. It bent the bike, but I was fine. And of course, I didn't say anything because nothing happened, really. He just bumped it. The guy didn't even stop to say if I was okay. He just, as soon as I got across, he drove off. And I went home and I went over, do whatever. And that night I'm sleeping. My mom comes running in. Are you okay? I'm like, what? Yeah. My mom's like, one a parent of one of your classmates who's also a teacher. She was a cooking teacher, I think, the home ec teacher. Called and her son pointed you out in the yearbook and said that saw you hit by a car. I'm like, he barely tapped my bike. My bike's a little messed up. I didn't say fucked up, a little messed up, but I'm fine. It barely hit me. It hit my bike was most of the. I don't even remember if it fell down. Could have fallen down. It like the steering wheel was a little askew and the seat was a little off. That seat was never normal again. I could never get it to stay. It was always turning. I tried to pedal and I'm turning. I don't know. That seatbelt fucking sucked. The seatbelt. The seat. The bike seat. Sucked after that. But I was fine. This woman just gets... And she is able to get back up and make her way into the building to take down the mother later. And I'm just like, no. This ain't Fast and the Furious, lady. You ain't getting away with this. If she's not dead, she'd be in a wheelchair for the rest of her goddamn life. There is no way she's getting up. And the way they try to justify this is later she goes into Kimball's hospital room with crutches. And I'm like, because they show her getting walked out by cops later. And I'm just like, this woman does stuff like... I'm like, no, there's no way. There's no way. And Chris is, confronting Kimball about Dominic because they get away. He's like, I won't tell you. And that's when everything goes to shit. They both get arrested. And then, of course, we get the hotel room, the hospital room. Again, why is this scene here? Because it's like, it's a beautiful moment between the two where they come to the realization that they have respect for each other and their partners and all that. Then her boyfriend or her fiance comes in and becomes one of the Three Stooges because he's breaking stuff. He's raising the leg and just like, where the hell did this slapstick motherfucker come from? Man, I don't know. But then we get the ending scene, where you see Kimball and Linda Hunt. He comes in. I'm telling you right now, he has a cane, and he has a cast on one of his legs. The left or right, I can't tell. And he comes in, and they walk in the classroom, and she hands him the whistle. And she's like, good luck. He whistles, and all the kids come running. And it's not the whistle that Joyce hears. It's other things. The children's going nuts. She runs in there, and they kiss. And he picks her up, and is kind of moving around like this. And I'm like, dude has a broken leg. Oh, but I am Arnold. You couldn't keep me down. I'm sorry, but a normal person picking someone up with a broken leg, like, they both be falling down on the ground. She'd be like, ow. There's no way he'd be able to lift her, but he's Arnold. He's the Austrian oak. I don't know. I was like, wait a minute. There's no way he'd be able to lift her. Even with the Arnold muscles. There's no way. No, you can't do it. You have a broken leg, you son of a bitch. You have a broken leg, you idiot. You can say it like that. This movie's great. You know what? First one of the month. I ain't throwing it up. To the moon, baby. I love this. You can nitpick some things. Chris is pretty much not a good villain because he's at the beginning. He pops in there and then shows up at the end. He's not really that much of a villain. But again, it's not really about that. It's about, we're going to have the funny moments of this big muscular Austrian man being driven crazy by kids. Nada, there is no bathroom. You know. But yeah, it's a classic in my opinion, and it goes to the moon for me. So, what are your thoughts on Kindergarten Cop? By the way, when I was a kid, I thought it was kindergarten, garden, like they'd be growing kids out of the ground or some shit. But it's Garten with a D. Wasn't until I was older. By the way, I'm a teacher. The E is backwards, you idiot. Although, this way, it's not. The other one is. But, like, it's the only one that's not backwards now. Well, the I guess. But the E is backwards, you idiot. You can't even do the E right. You got the other one right, but this one is wrong. He's wrong. Anyway, the hell's the next one? I don't know. We'll have to find out together, I guess. Thank you for watching. I've been Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.